You use it every day. In your phone, your car, even in the camera that captures this very frame. But few realize that this simple, lifeless grain of sand hides one of the richest industries on Earth. Semiconductors, the brain of modern life, generate billions of dollars each year, built from something most people overlook. Not gold, not oil, but sand. A material so common it covers deserts and beaches, yet so valuable when refined that nations compete for it. Inside this invisible economy, scientists and engineers quietly transform dust into intelligence, and those who understand the process control the profit. Most people never see this side of it. And that's the point: the fewer who understand, the higher the stakes. Stay. Because if you stop now, you'll never learn how billions are created from something so small, or how a single principle can separate those who merely use technology from those who build fortunes from it. Don't look away. Understanding this journey could change how you see value itself. Every journey toward intelligence begins with heat, intense, relentless heat. Quartz sand is poured into giant electric furnaces where temperatures exceed 2,000 degrees Celsius. Inside, chaos dissolves into order. Impurities burn away until only pure silicon remains. This purification isn't just chemistry, it's economics. Purity means value, and each fraction of a percent adds millions in potential profit. Corporations invest billions in these furnaces, not just to make material, but to own the starting point of every digital product. For local workers, the reward is wages. For those who own the process, it's wealth beyond measure. Every metric of heat, pressure, and purity converts directly into money. And those who understand this equation, the balance between energy and precision, shape the foundations of the trillion-dollar tech economy. But purity alone isn't enough. To make intelligence, we must learn to grow perfection itself. Inside a vacuum chamber, molten silicon rises slowly, pulled upward by a single seed crystal. Each atom aligns in perfect order, forming a flawless cylinder that glows like liquid metal. Every fraction of vibration, every micro-deviation is monitored. One imperfection can destroy an entire batch worth millions. When cooled, the crystal is sliced into wafers thinner than a human hair. Smooth, flawless, and ready to carry billions of circuits. Here, precision is profit. A company that reduces its defect rate by even 1% can multiply its margins several-fold. Investors know this. That's why entire nations compete for the technology to cut, polish, and test wafers with near-atomic accuracy. Those without the capital or access remain suppliers of raw sand, watching value climb beyond their reach. Next, light itself will become the tool carving logic into matter. That's where true money and intelligence begin. In ultra-clean rooms, wafers are coated with a photosensitive film. Ultraviolet light passes through a mask, engraving microscopic patterns that will become electrical pathways. Here, light stops being something we see and becomes something that thinks. Each photon carries an instruction, carving logic smaller than a virus, layer upon layer. Photolithography machines cost hundreds of millions each, yet every second they run can create millions in future revenue. The companies that own the light, the designs, the masks, the algorithms hold more power than those who mine the sand. They sell precision itself, licenses, patents, access. For those who lack the knowledge, the door to that economy remains closed. The gap between those who understand and those who don't widens with every flash of ultraviolet light. We've taught light to think, and now matter begins to remember. The next step, turning logic into life.
We have taught light to think.
The wafers are diced into tiny squares. Robotic arms attach golden wires thinner than a hair, sealing each chip with laser precision. A single approved chip can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, multiplied by millions. It becomes the backbone of global wealth. Those who master assembly and testing don't just build technology, they build empires. For others, the labor remains, but not the profit. This is where electricity turns into thought, and thought becomes product. Every transistor, every sealed unit, every passing test result, all of it translates into money, influence, and control. And for the ones left behind, the pain is real. Understanding that without access to knowledge, you're part of the process, not part of the gain. If you stop here, you'll never see how they turn engineering into profit and how billions are packed inside every chip that leaves the line.
It's stabilizing. We have a heartbeat.
The chips are mounted, connected, and powered for the first time. A pulse of electricity races through circuits thinner than imagination, awakening a network of billions of transistors. What was once dust now performs thought, measuring, deciding, remembering. Each signal, each computation, represents value moving through the global system, the heartbeat of a trillion-dollar economy. Inside data centers, endless rows of processors hum like mechanical forests. Every light that blinks is money in motion, trades executed, data stored, lives connected. And yet, the richer this pulse becomes, the less most people feel its rhythm. Because ownership of the pulse means ownership of the world that depends on it. Stay the next moments, reveal where the real power hides. Not in the chip itself, but in who decides what it thinks. From satellites orbiting the planet to self-driving cars, every active connection relies on these silicon hearts. Each year, over 1 trillion chips are born, and each one ties another piece of humanity to the network. But the supply chain that creates them is no longer just industry, it's geopolitics. Control the factories, and you control information. Control information, and you shape economies. The profit now lies not only in production, but in designs, patents, and data-invisible assets that decide who earns and who follows. Nations subsidize fabrication plants worth tens of billions because they understand the simple truth: whoever commands silicon commands the future. For individuals, the lesson is brutal. Knowledge compounds like capital, ignorance costs like debt. Those who learn how technology is valued, who study, invest, or innovate, join the system of profit. Those who don't, fund it. And yet, after all the wealth, the factories, and the light, a question remains: what have we really created? In a silent room, a single chip glows under the microscope. Its metallic surface reflects the human eye that built it, a mirror made of atoms and ambition. The city outside flickers with the same rhythm. Billions of tiny pulses echoing through every screen, every signal, every thought. From dust, we built intelligence. From intelligence, we built power. And in that power, we risk forgetting where it began. The same element that formed the deserts now forms the foundation of human progress. Sand became silicon. Silicon became thought. And thought became profit, control, and memory. But beneath all the light, one truth remains: the dust remembers.